are you expecting from these Iran talks in Geneva tomorrow?
So I'll be involved in those talks indirectly, and they'll be very important. We'll see what can happen. It's been typically Iran's a very tough negotiator. They're good negotiators, or bad negotiators. I would say they're bad negotiators because we could have had a deal instead of sending the B-2s in to knock out their nuclear potential, and we had to send the B-2s. I hope they're going to be more reasonable. They want to make a deal.
I've been told that a deal is next to impossible.
No, I think they want to make a deal. I don't think they want the consequences of not making a deal. They want to make a deal.
Let's just ask the uncomfortable question out loud. The Epstein files, the ones that are still being kept under wraps, what if they didn't stay under wraps? What if a foreign government got to them first? Iran, for example. We already know Iran has a track record of hacking Donald Trump and people around him. That's not speculation, that's documented. So it's not crazy to wonder, did they get more than we think? Iran's supreme leader has been dropping some interesting hints. He's talked about an island of corruption and suggested that much more will soon be exposed. He's basically saying you've only seen the trailer. That's not subtle. And remember, in 2024, Iranian hackers hit the Trump campaign with a spear phishing operation. Microsoft flagged it publicly. The campaign acted surprised, but let's be honest, they already knew. They just had to admit it once Microsoft did. So what was taken? Around that same time, someone claiming to represent Iranian interests reportedly tried feeding damaging material about Trump to media outlets. Then came indictments against Iranian hackers in late 2024. Then, in June 2025, Truth Social was hacked. Iran-aligned groups openly claimed responsibility. And here's the thing, Trump uses Truth Social like most people use texting. He DMs from there, he communicates from there. We've literally seen him accidentally post private messages meant for people like Pam Bondi. So if that platform was breached, what exactly was accessed? We don't know, but we do know the hack happened. Then there's the hack involving former Israeli Prime Minister Ehud Barak. Emails allegedly showed extensive business conversations between Barak and Jeffrey Epstein, including discussions involving drone tech, global investments, and high-level financial dealings. Those emails surfaced after an Iranian-linked group breach. That wasn't conspiracy talk, that was reporting. Now zoom out. Iran has sophisticated cyber teams groups like 313 Team and Handala. These aren't amateurs in a basement somewhere, these are strategic operators. And when you combine high-level hacks with sensitive networks of people tied to Epstein, that's not random. So here's the bigger question. Is Trump worried? Look at the behavior. In early 2026, he publicly encouraged Iranian protesters, told them to keep going, said help was coming. At the same time, he warned Iran's leadership not to crack down, or will respond. Iran cracked down anyway, thousands were reportedly killed, and afterward, Trump praised the regime for canceling executions. That's a pivot. Then there are the back-channel reports, claims that messages were being sent through intermediaries suggesting Trump just wanted to look tough with limited strikes and move on. Meanwhile, the Ayatollah publicly calls him a foolish negotiator and hints that more corruption will come to light. That's not just diplomatic trash talk. That feels pointed. And when asked about negotiations, Trump insists Iran wants a deal because they don't want the consequences.
What are you expecting from these Iran talks in Geneva tomorrow?
So I'll be involved in those talks indirectly, and they'll be very important. We'll see what can happen. It's been typically Iran's a very tough negotiator. They're good negotiators, or bad negotiators. I would say they're bad negotiators because we could have had a deal instead of sending the B-2s in to knock out their nuclear potential, and we had to send the B-2s. I hope they're going to be more reasonable. They want to make a deal.
I've been told that a deal is next to impossible.
No, I think they want to make a deal. I don't think they want the consequences of not making a deal. They want to make a deal.
But what if the leverage runs both ways? We know Iran hacked the campaign. We know they hacked Truth Social. We know they've targeted individuals linked to Epstein. The real unknown is, what did they get? When I was litigating cases, one of the easiest ways to find missing documents wasn't hacking. It was comparing third-party records to what someone claimed they produced. Gaps tell stories. Discrepancies tell stories. Now imagine skilled cyber teams combing through hacked inboxes, mapping networks, identifying connections, finding inconsistencies. That's how you build leverage. And let's be clear, acknowledging that Iranian hackers are technically skilled isn't praise. It's reality. They're good at what they do. So the open question is this: does Iran have damaging material connected to Epstein networks? Do they have private communications from Trump's inner circle? Is that affecting how negotiations are unfolding right now?
President Trump said, if they come after you, they got to go through me. If you thought Afghanistan was a debacle, it was. The only thing worse would be to entice people out into the streets against a brutal dictator and pull the plug on them. To anybody at the White House who thinks the Ayatollah would honor a deal to give up his nuclear ambition, you're a fool. Donald Trump is not a fool. These people are out in the streets because they believe in Trump.
Now that Gaza's entering phase 2, should Israel lift its ban on foreign journalists being allowed into Gaza?
We'll be lifting a lot of bans pretty soon. I think you're going to see everything opening up. Gaza, look, we have peace in the Middle East. Now, you have some flames here and there, but we essentially have peace in the Middle East. And that happened primarily when we did the B-2 attack on the potential nuclear power. They would have had a nuclear weapon within 1 month. If that happened, it would have been a whole different.
Maybe, maybe not. But when a foreign leader keeps saying more will come out while calling you incompetent at negotiating and you've already been hacked multiple times, it's fair to ask. Let me know what you think.